quit. Yo, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing today? Hope you guys had a good day. I know a lot of people in my stock life made a lot of gains. Ricky's been calling out some bangers this week. McDonald's, we got Google puts from last night. MU puts did not work out, unfortunately. But the chart was there, setup was there, it just didn't work out. Jumia, we still have a chance on those calls. Market weakness took them down. Other than that, what's going on? Vladdy, Nils is in here, Gurvinder, Bikram, Phil, Mo, Phil again, Joe. Sean G's in here, Guap's in here, BV7, Papa Ganush. You gotta change your name, bro. I can't keep saying that every single day. Peter Piper's in here, Gravish is in here, Optimus Prime's in here. What's going on? So SPY today, we have another all-time high. What else is new, right? They keep printing money, we keep going all-time highs. Trend is bullish, trend is friend. Play with the trend. Well, bear volume's falling off here. Other than that, the short-term market direction is gonna be completely dependent on the jobs report tomorrow. Yeah, so what I'm expecting, or not expecting, but what happened last time, you guys know I watch the patterns, I watch what happened last time usually, and what I'm expecting is the jobs number will probably beat or fail, whatever. What happened last time was the jobs number, off that number we spiked up a lot, SPY went straight up in a line, and then we gave it all back. And remember what I tell you about binary events, usually the second reaction is the real reaction. The first one's usually false. So keep an eye out for that, just like you guys have been seeing at the Fed during job numbers, during CPI numbers. Initially, it'll make a very odd move, and then it'll do the real move that it's supposed to. So don't get too excited if we rip up tomorrow morning off the jobs number. Don't get too excited if we rip down off the jobs number. Just chill, wait for the second move, and that's usually the right move. And no one's going to teach you that. That's just experience talking. So we're still within this channel on SPY. Everything looks fine. Intraday, again, just chop. We opened this morning at 453.32. We closed today at 453.20. So a grand total, all this volatility, a grand total of a 12-cent move on SPY today. Obviously it's summer trading. A lot of the hedge fund traders are gone to the Hamptons. There's not much volume. Volume's drying up. So they come back after Labor Day. We have a long weekend coming up. Usually a lot of profit taking into long weekends. No one likes to hold their stocks over 4 days of uncertainty. And yeah, so we should see volume pick up next week on Tuesday. But as far as today and tomorrow, we shouldn't see too much volume. Tomorrow will be volatile off that jobs number if the pass is any indication. QQQ also bullish, didn't make an all-time high today, kind of rejected. We do need more consolidation on QQQ in my opinion. The 8-day moving average is way down at 377.30. We closed today at 380, so we do have $3 of room to the downside if they do want to consolidate this right now. So like I said yesterday, I told you guys, I'm expecting rotation out of big tech into financials, and if they don't rotate it into financial, the market's just going to come down, all of it together. Today, financials held. Why did I say that? Why did I say I expect rotation into financials? Is because the XLF came down and it tagged the 21-day moving average yesterday. It tagged the 21-day moving average and was bought up off that. So today we had an inside day on XLF. Remember, QQQ, XLF, IWM are very important for SPX directions or SPY directions. And as long as both of them, one of them is holding up, SPY will not dump. If both of them are dumping, then SPY will dump. If one of them is ripping and one of them is going sideways, SPY will go up. So they both need to move. All three of them, you need to watch all three of them. If all three of them are at the low of the day at the same time, then the market's probably going to dump. XLF, big round trip. Same thing as SPY. A lot of movement. But from open, it opened today at 38.26. We closed today at 38.30. So a grand total of 4 cents of movement on XLF today. Like I'm saying, in the summer, usually we just get like sideways markets, especially when we're at all-time highs and all kinds of stuff. We have all this freaking movement and they just open and close it at the same spot every time. IWM is then the strongest sector. Like I told you guys off that last correction, whenever SPY corrects, IWM runs the most. And look at, from the recent low, IWM has ran. Give me 1 second, guys. So this correction here, where SPY corrected, it's run 9%. I called out IWM 229 calls on Monday. If you guys remember, those were well in the money today if you sold. Congratulations. Other than that, keep an eye for IWM. All the other sectors are at all-time highs. IWM is not even close. Well, it is close to all-time highs, but all-time highs is up above 235 or 234.53 is all-time high on QQQ. So we still have about $5-6 of wiggle room here. So if the market wants to go higher, IWM will lead the way. If the market wants to go lower, IWM will lead the way down. And right now we're getting a little bit extended. I mean, almost 9 days straight up. So might need a little consolidation on IWM. If IWM consolidates, everything will consolidate with it. Should consolidate with it, not will. There's no guarantees in the stock market, okay? Got Google. We nailed those puts yesterday. Why did I call out Google? I went to the monthly chart, straight up in a line. Up 190% on a $1 trillion company in a year and a half. That's a pretty big move. That's a lot of money coming into Google. I love the company. Google is one of my favorite companies for sure, but it's just a little ahead of itself right now. If you look at the weekly, every time it's gone on a huge run like this, it's left a candle like this leading to consolidation. See that big upper wick of profit taking? That signal consolidation, that's exactly what we got. And same thing here. We're forming the same candle. Obviously, there's one more day happening, but I expect a pullback to at least the 8-day moving average. This is the weekly, so that's going to be a hard trade to short. It's very hard to short strong companies back down. So I just usually keep them 1 day or 2 days, and that's it, and I'll leave it. And 2736 is the 8-day moving average on Google on the weekly, and on the daily, we actually touched the 8-day moving average today. 2860 was the 8-day moving average. Today we touched 2863, and we could have further downside down to the 21-day because every single time it's pulled back to the 21-day. If you see here, so we might move all the way down to 2793. But if you want to hold as strong a company as Google, that long short, good luck to you. I will not do it, but good luck to you guys. Tesla, huge breakout over 725.50, 726 area. Just consolidating here. The premium on the calls and puts this week told me that we were going to go sideways just because they weren't moving. It was way too cheap. The IV was sucked out of there. Like, I mean, on Wednesday we had 750 calls. The stock was at like 740, but the calls were only $3. That makes no sense. $10 out of the money with 3 days to go on Tesla. Those calls should be $8, $9. They weren't, so that told me we were either going to go down or we were going to go sideways for the rest of the week. That's why we sold the calls at a profit. Jumped in puts. The puts did not work, unfortunately, because we didn't get the down movement. We just went sideways. I should have just played one of Ricky's crazy spreads to collect premium. Amazon, we closed above 34.57. So we've been watching these fibs all the way up, right? We pulled back, and today we bounced off that fib. The 0.618 fib is at 34.57. If we keep going up, the next level up is 35.05, then 35.54. I'm watching very, very closely on Amazon tomorrow. If it gives me confirmation and stays above 34.57, I will be entering a very large play on Amazon with some time on it. Ricky agrees with me. Obviously, he jumped in a fucking $13,000 call today. But yeah, Amazon is set up to run all the way back to all-time highs. Moderna, I called at the end of the day. Why did I call it? We have the daily, the slow. We're curling up on the stochastics. The RSI is cooled off now completely from the last move, and we held today very strong. So we have a 4-day bounce off this. 362, 352 is the supply zone, or the demand zone, sorry. So I told you guys, right, when we had this huge run all the way up to almost $500, I told you we needed a pullback, and if it's volatile and quick on the way up, it's going to be volatile and quick on the way down. Came all the way down, tested that support area that I called out a long time ago, and then we're just kind of consolidating here, waiting for everything to cool off, waiting for it to go again. If we get COVID news after hours, we might gap up. And what I liked about this, why did I call Moderna 400 calls at the end of the day? We actually closed above this fib right here. Why are these fibs so messy, bro? Jesus. But yeah, so we closed above this fib right here. I had a fib at 397.08. We closed at 397.66. That's why right at the end of the day, I called out those 400 calls for $3.25. This one looks like it wants to run after hours. If it does run and it opens up over 400 tomorrow, we will get at least 5 or 6 for those calls. Moderna always has a lot of IV in there. So I'll be holding these. I'll let you know what I'll do with them in the morning. Let's see if we get a gap down. Even if we get a gap down, that's a good price. $3 for $3 out of the money. Especially for Moderna. Those 400 calls a couple of weeks ago, if you bought them at the same time, those same calls would have been like $8, $9, $10 on a Thursday. So let's see if we get a old type of ripper on Moderna tomorrow. We can possibly see 403 again easily. Today we touched 403. That is the 618 fib. So keep an eye on Moderna tomorrow. We'll see what happens. BTBT, very promising opening with Bitcoin at 50K. Gave it all back. Still holding up on the daily chart. We had this little flag that we were watching. Gave back a lot of this move. I don't like how much of the move it gave back, but still it's less than 50%. The most likely scenario now is an equilibrium, because if we just go like this, we'd have to set a higher low and then a higher high and then a higher low and then a higher high. That would change the daily trend. So right now, I don't think we will get all the way back up to all-time highs here at 2074. We do have 2 weeks on the call, so let's see what happens. If Bitcoin continues to rip, we will stay ripping, but all the moving averages are underneath. This is starting to turn into a bullish trend. Right now, we need to set a higher low and a higher high that to change the trend. That's all we're watching on BTBT, so I'm expecting this. And let's move on. ES, nothing to talk about here. I had my resistances and supports drawn out. We closed above one resistance that I liked. Sava's dead. We're going to lose all the money on it unless the CEO talks tonight. But I will probably roll these over because this is such a news-driven stock. As soon as the CEO or their lawyers talk about that fraud case, this thing's going to rip 10-15 points in my opinion, at the very least. Jumia, we had this beautiful bull flag. We got the breakout here, kind of faked me out. I jumped in $22 calls for next week. Big volume, complete fake out, came down with the market, very weak. You guys see this big thin air down here? That's why it fell so fast. When it rejected, it fell so fast because there's no volume here to support it. So as soon as we get over this 2184, 2190 is the top of this volume shelf. As soon as we get over there, we can get some real movement, but we need some more momentum into Jumia to break through this resistance in the first place. Right now, it does look like a healthy trend. It's changing the trend. Just like I told you on BTBT, it's doing exactly that. So we're coming from a huge downtrend, and now we're trying to change it into a daily uptrend like this. So we're going to need another higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and that's how you change the trend back into a bull trend. Netflix looks absolutely amazing. It's one of my worst traded stocks. I lose money on this one more times than I make money, but look at this breakout. You cannot deny this weekly breakout on Netflix. I've had this channel drawn out for so long. 466 is a support, 567 is the resistance, and it's a clear breakout. If we get volume tomorrow, then I'll be more excited about it. But tomorrow, I have two big plays in mind. It's Amazon or Netflix, or Amazon and Netflix, and I'm going to be throwing a lot of money in them if I get confirmation tomorrow. So keep an eye on Netflix tomorrow for fall continuation. The best possible scenario for Netflix for me to jump in a heavy play is if Netflix pulls back to this 568 level right here, this resistance we just broke out. If we pull back there on the daily, 568, just remember that number. We pull back all the way to 568 tomorrow. I know it's a far way off, but if we do pull back there, absolutely, I will load Netflix. So let's watch for that. Right now, it's getting a little ahead of itself. RSI is oversold, stochastics are over. Everything's a little bit far. PayPal has been coming out with good news the whole time. Why did I take calls today for 3:30? Look, this is a beautiful bull flag, 3 days of rest after a big move. Look at the bull volume compared to the selling volume on the way down. So we're just tightening up. People are accumulating. We have a huge gap to fill all the way to 297. So today we closed at 285. No, we closed at, 285.50 we closed at today. The gap to fill is all the way to 297. So we have about a $12 move possible on PayPal, and if we get it quick, those calls will be up very, very fast. So if the market holds up tomorrow, watch this one to spike. There is a huge open interest on 290 calls and above for PayPal this week. So another possibility is they might bag hold all those guys. They might screw everyone and go sideways tomorrow and then rip next Monday. That's why I took next week's calls instead of tomorrow's. So that's just another way of thinking. MU, I called out puts right about here because we broke below the 8-day moving average here. AMD and NVIDIA were weak. Market was weak, but MU held. So our puts did not work, unfortunately. We ripped up. I wasn't watching at this time. Came back down. Our puts were green again right here. And then it ripped up again. And at the end of the day, we got a huge buying volume. So let's see tomorrow. If we get a gap down, we might get paid on those. If we don't, then they're probably zero. That's why I said small. It's 1 day, 1 DTE till expiry. Those are risky. You shouldn't be going large in those ever. Zim, all-time highs today. Beautiful stock. Beautiful chart. I love this name. Shipping companies, when they go, they really, really go. Go check out the other shipping companies in the past. Zoom out on the 5-year charts of other shipping companies and see what happens when they actually start going. This thing could go to $80 to $100. I told you guys after earnings, $80 to $100 is possible on Zim. I was calling this one out at $20 right here. This is where I made the YouTube video, everything. I averaged up actually when we retested this resistance at 47. So I have stock from 20. I added at 47. My new average is around 30-ish. And I fully expect this one to go to 80 or 100. Highest close in Zim's history, all-time highs today. Everything's great. Shipping containers are super hot. The only problem with this one I see is next week we have a lockup expiration. And those people that got in this stock way back here at around $12, they might want to take some profits here at 53. I mean, it's already a 5-bagger on equity within a year. That's insane. I know if I was them, I would take some off. So we might get a little buyable dip next week. Let's see. As long as it holds above this 47.37 for the rest of my life, I will continue to hold this one until 80 to 100. Other than that, ASTS, I called out the February 1250 leaps for 130. This is a beautiful chart. I think we called them out right here. So almost a perfect entry. Called them out for $1.30. They're over $3.30 each now. So I might take some profits soon if we get a breakup. We did break up today, but it was a false breakout as we sold off again. So it might need a little more time, let the moving averages catch up before the next leg up. We'll do a couple of charts here, just a couple. I got a lot of stuff to do today. AFRM, I'll do SQ, and I'll do Spotify, and that's it. Sorry guys, I've been working all day. Already did like 30 charts. I'll do a couple more, and then I'm out of here. Spotify, absolute ripper today. So why did Spot go up today? Does anyone know? You guys got to read the news. So what happened with Apple is Apple said they had their margins on Apple, Apple Music. Apple Music margins are better than expected. What did that do? Shop's number one worry about their business was their margins. So as soon as Apple announced that, everyone thought of Shop right away. Their margins are better than expected. And it's doing exactly what I said. So sometimes you need to go up, have a few red days as consolidation, and then rip up more. This one had green days sideways. So that's pure strength right there. It went straight from oversold straight to overbought. That's how many people wanted in Spotify. Today we had another 6.57% day. It's a V-shaped recovery. Absolutely, Dwayne, good call. And this one has a lot of room to go. I mean, we're above all the moving averages. The next resistance for me isn't until this high right here, which is 280. So we're only at 254. Yeah, we closed at 254. 280 is the next resistance, and then 300 is the next resistance. So a lot of room possible on Spot, but again, we are getting a little extended here. We went straight from oversold to overbought. We might need to set a higher low over here and then set a higher high. So just watch on Spot. SQ, break out of the flag, but again, I told you guys this is a massive, massive resistance. This is going to take some big news to get through it right now. Square, I've been trading it for a while. I buy it at 200 usually, and I sell in the 270s, and it's just been the same pattern over and over again. 200 buy, 270 sell, 200 buy, 270 sell, and it's back at 270s. But this time it is flagging under this resistance, so it might need a few more days, accumulate some more, and then some big news can pop it through this 278, and it can never come down. It's very possible that it breaks through 278 and never comes down below 278 ever again. So keep an eye on this SQ through 278.10 with volume. It needs volume, like this volume right here. You see it? This day it was going to take it out, but it was already up 10% on the day. Look at the size of this volume. This is the kind of volume we need to break through this resistance. It's a huge resistance. It's been the same resistance since February. So keep an eye on that one. AFRM, great news with Amazon today, or that lending, whatever. Solid company. I have to read more about this one. It could be a big winner in the future, but right now we already had this huge gap up off that Amazon news, and now it's just kind of consolidating that huge move. I mean, when a company goes from 66 all the way to 101, like it's a 50-point move, right? It almost doubled its market cap in one day. So now it's just kind of going sideways, waiting. And if it holds this gap, this low is a must hold, 90.28. I don't want to see it go below 90.28. If it does, it most likely fills a gap. So make sure this would be my support. This would be my all complete stop loss if you're in equity or options or anything. If it goes below $90, I would cut this one so quickly. But right now it looks like it has strength. It just has to cool off the RSI and the stochastics and stuff. Couple more days sideways. If it gives us a few more days or a week or two sideways, then this one's set up for all-time highs and much more. We'll do Visa as well, just because I'm feeling nice today. Visa, MasterCard down huge today. Why are they down? Amazon announced that they're going to charge you more if you use Visa to buy their products. Why did Amazon do that? Amazon did that because they want people to use AFRM instead of Visa and MasterCard. Other than that, I hope, yeah, Apple had news with digital wallet. So you'll have a mobile device. On your mobile device, you can have your whole wallet. So all you have to do is scan your phone. You don't have to carry your license. You don't have to carry your credit cards, nothing. It's all going to be on a digital wallet on Apple. It's actually huge news. But yeah, thank you guys for attending. I'll see you tomorrow. Jobs report, jobs report.